Hey everyone, it's Tyler from Zephyr Epic here, and welcome to our first look at the brand new 2023-24 Upper Deck EX2000 Hockey Hobby Box. EX2000 is a 2-card per pack, a 24-pack per box product. A very unique breakdown there, but yeah, essentially per box you'll find 24 base set cards, 12 base set rookie cards, 2 base set parallels or base set rookie parallels, 8 index movers, All or Nothing or Stardate 3000 inserts, and then autographs fall 1 in every 3 boxes approximately. So yeah, let's get into this. The set itself is kind of based off of the whole EX cards that have been, I think they were kind of their own standalone thing back in the mid 90s, but they've kind of popped up now and again. I know they were in, I think 16-17 Flair Showcase. It was the last time that they were really like out there. So they are pretty cool. If you are opening this up, you are going to want 75-point top loaders, just because that's the thickness of the other cards. But yeah, here we go. I don't know why I didn't keep the box in the background like I normally do, but yeah. All right. So yeah, the set design is pretty cool. The cards themselves are, yeah, so we get two premium cards. I'd say they're premium cards. So here's a Mo Sider. Very, you got your kind of like foily on the side. You got your player cutout there, and you got the whole background there. You got a little bit of the cloud. I'm shocked they didn't cut that part out, actually. I wonder why. I guess maybe to have more of a connection point with the glove, but yeah. So you got kind of the cloud background there, and then a Brock Faber. This is a rookie, and yeah, so a little bit of like, I don't know what that is, just the glue area, but Brock Faber on the rookie. So very cool cards. They're definitely very unique. I'm going to be very curious to see how this product does on the secondary market, just because typically in the past, products like this that invoke a lot of nostalgia in collectors can actually sometimes fall flat. But the cards themselves are nice. Like, you do get some premium cards per box. The price point is obviously very high on this product. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the entire box has. That rookie's pretty nice looking. I think if you do have a player that you like in this set, you're probably going to want to like pick up a copy or two. All right, so here's a Kucherov. I didn't look too much into the parallels here, but here's a Kucherov. I'm assuming this is just base. And then you have a second one behind it. So you have a green here of Zach Benson. I'm assuming that these are parallels. Let me scroll down 1 second here. All right, so these are just like the base set kind of stuff. The parallels will be numbered, every single parallel outside of the central credentials, which I think just actually says it. So yeah, I mean, I like it. It's definitely unique. The card quality is fine, I would say. But all right, here's a Rasmus Dahlin. A little bit of chipping on that bottom. Yeah, a little bit of chipping. And then a Sean Farrell. That's our rookie here. We're at 3 rookies. I know you're supposed to get 12 per box. Maybe this entire side is rookies, but yeah, card quality wise, it seems okay. There's some little bit of like smudging and stuff. I mean, again, they're kind of put in 2 card packs, so I think that kind of can constrain things a little bit. So here's a Slavkovsky and a Askarov on the rookie. So Slavkovsky, that's just a regular, and a Askarov. I don't know. I'll go back through the video, and if I miss anything, I will update you. Okay, this pack is noticeably thinner, so we have a regular insert in here. So we have a Marc-Andre Fleury. That's a base, and a Stardate 3000. So these are kind of like something you'd expect to see out of like metal, I would say. They're nice premium. Honestly, maybe even Synergy. If these inserts were in Synergy, they'd make that product a little bit cooler to me. But yeah, Stardate 3000 of Jordan Kyrou. These are, I believe, a little bit tougher to hit. I believe they are, where are they? 1 in 6 packs. So yeah, cool die cut card. They honestly feel like in between kind of, your Skybox and Synergy type insert. Just standard thickness on these. So yeah, first parallel. They're okay. Not my personal favorite, but the die cuts are always good. Anytime you have die cut cards, you're especially like really fine edges on that one, it's cut pretty well. Oh, we got something different here. You're gonna run into some edge chipping. Yeah, like this Tage Thompson, for example, has a lot of edge wear on it, unfortunately, at the bottom. But we do have an index movers of Jake Sanderson. These are, I believe, 1 in 7.5 packs. Yeah, essentially, really just die cut card, very unique. That's gonna be a pain to sleeve and top load. Like, legitimately, this is like probably the best way to grab it. Whoop. Definitely a little tricky to sleeve and top load because you got to get that top corner in there. Honestly, let's do the good old fashioned cut the side of the sleeve a little bit here because that might help us. Just slide it in. Yeah, these are a struggle. There we go. So yeah, with these ones, I'd suggest just getting like a pair of scissors and cutting down the side of the sleeves a little bit. It will make sleeving these a lot easier. They're a little bit of a tricky. Anytime you have die cuts like that are like really unique, it's very difficult to sleeve them, unfortunately. So they're different looking cards, kind of like, I don't know, gives me SPX vibes, kind of like what they did in SPX. This is another thin pack, so you can very clearly tell when you have two of the thick cards are like a thick and a thin. So here's a Kyle Connor, and then a Stardate 3000 of Mitch Marner, who almost got traded really at the deadline. I think if he would have waived his no move clause, he would have actually been traded at the deadline, which is pretty spicy that Toronto is willing to move on from him for Mikko Rantanen and then pay Rantanen a bunch of big money. Here's another thin one, so we know we just have a base and a thing. So, oh, these cards caused a little bit of controversy online. We got a Stuart Skinner for the Oilers and a Hall or Nothing of Connor McDavid. And I saw someone point this out, and I also can't unsee it. They look like jukebox inserts from 2022-23 Parkhurst Champions. And yeah, seeing them in person, they look very, very similar. Obviously, like the kind of your typical arches, your marble arches are going to look similar to a jukebox shape, but definitely an interesting looking card. Not my personal favorite. Again, just feels like something that, you know, you'd expect out of like Synergy or like Metal Universe rather than this box. I know you're paying a lot for the 75-point cards because you do get like 36 of those thick cards per box, which is a lot. It's just going to be interesting to see what the secondary market values those at, because that's essentially going to determine how useful the product, or like what the reception for the product's going to be, is how well these cards do on the secondary market, because they're the unique ones. And here's a Kaprizov on the star date. I believe this is just the same as the other ones. Yes. So yeah, the edge shipping on some of these isn't the best either, just because, again, anytime you get die cut cards, you're going to have some rough edges, especially when they just got the little like corners and stuff like that, because there's just so much more that can go wrong, especially in 2-card packs. Right? You think they're inserted into packs via machine. You got the little edges, they're shipping around, like the packs can slide. So, all right, another thin pack here. I think we have one of those movers. All right, we have a Matthew Tkachuk on the base. Again, a little bit of rough chipping on the bottom. And an index movers of Thomas Borderlow. I am going to get into another sleeve here because that is just going to make it better. There we go. I wish I had scissors because the cut's not entirely clean there, but like this is better than trying to jam it in, and it works a lot better than just trying to like jam it into there. And then getting into the top loader, also make sure you go from the side that has a physical card in there, because it's a little bit easier that way. Yeah, these cards they're interesting. They definitely tried something different. At least like die cut wise, the quality on the index movers is actually pretty nice. The foiling's good, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like torn on this set right now. We got a Michelli. Kind of struggled a little bit this year. and then an essential credentials to $4.99. So this is one of the numbered parallels here. Are these essential credentials? I think they're, oh no, they're just the credential parallels to $4.99. So you get the little parallel on the top. Yeah, you're kind of hunting after the top rookies in this specific parallel, I guess, and like your McDavids and stuff. But I do think that some of the value of this product will also be a little bit diminished because there's players like Connor McDavid that have already had these cards before. I think like Austin Matthews, anyone in the 16-17, any good rookie in the 16-17 crop would have had them. So there's one numbered card. We got an Allmark and we got a blue credentials to $2.99. Okay, these ones pop. Of Malkin. These ones look pretty nice. A little bit of edge wear. Just, yeah. That's, I think the one thing with this product is that you're going to see a lot of edge wear issues because anytime you get like full colored stock, especially in 2-card packs, you're going to have some edge wear issues. But to $2.99, the blue is very nice looking. It's a very nice card to look at, especially with the little sky in the background there. Yeah, on to, I guess that's the first half. On to the second half. So we got another Michelli. That's the same one, right? Not a fan of that in the same box. Drew Hellison on the rookie, because the checklist should be big enough where you're not getting duplicates in the same box. Yeah, you got 100 base players. So of your 24 to get 2 of the same in a box, that's not great, I would say. I don't know how else to explain it. A little bit disappointing, but on to the next one here. We got a Kachuk. All right, did we get a Kachuk already? I feel like we got a Kachuk. But maybe I'm just making stuff up. No, we got a Kachuk already. All right, so we're at 2 Michellis, 2 Kachuks, a star date of Tage. So, yeah, I don't know, man. This might be a buy a pack product type of thing, because like you do get at least one nice card per pack, and like that's not as bad. But if you're gonna get the same base cards in a box, that's not the best of feeling. So, all right, well, this guy is at least good to pull. If you get multiple McDavids or like top players, you're not gonna complain. But here's a Leon. I don't know if we got him. I don't think we got him. I don't remember getting him. Let's see. Nope, we just had Tage and a Matthew Nice. So this one has a little bit of like just bottom wear again on it. So yeah, card quality is hit or miss. We have, okay, this is a guy that you're going to want to hit twice. Connor McDavid on the base and then Evan Bouchard on the index movers. I am just going to put these in their own pile and I'll sleeve and top of them after the break just to save you some time. All right, we got something different here. Jack Hughes, again, the edge wear on the bottom there, and then a net assets of Igor Shesterkin. Again, just kind of like a skyboxy parallel, like something in between skybox and skybox and synergy. So, which is kind of, you know what? Synergy would make a lot of sense with the index movers and the net assets and stuff because promote synergy in business and stuff like that. But yeah, I really don't know what else to say about this product so far. So here's a Tom Wilson and a all access credentials of Marco Casper. These are cool looking. Yeah, these are cool. These are cool. I believe these are the ones that are 1 in 108 packs, I want to say. Yeah, 1 in 108. So they got that kind of like cracked ice parallel to them. These look cool. Like, really nice looking cards. I guess tough pulls because 108, that's 1 in every 4 boxes, roughly. But those are cool. On to the next pack here. Casper's not bad. Obviously not like the top end player that you want, but not a bad guy to get. We have a Gaudreau and a Matt Savoy. And then on to the next pack here. Yeah, that looks like it's done, if I had to guess. We got a Shesterkin and oh no, Riker Evans, right? It's going to be a rookie in the back. I just saw the 29 and it's like, who else could it be? So, all right, we got a few packs left here. So far, it is a product. We got a Sorokin and a Tristan Robbins. It's honestly probably a pack that, you know, if you do, or a product that if you do it by the pack, it might not be as bad. Got Kurashev and Samiskevich. Again, a little bit of bottom issues on that guy. Couple packs here. I'm just trying to speed up. We got Couturier again, same thing with the edge chipping, and Poitras. Yeah, just base rookie. Final pack here. Let's see what's hiding in here. We got a Lafreniere and a Fraser Minton, newest member of the Bruins. So, all right, I'm gonna just sort things and kind of gather thoughts, and then we'll do a recap after this. Okay, I've got all the cards sorted here, so it's time for an actually fairly lengthy recap and review. I want to preface this by saying I was really looking forward to this product, as I've loved the style of these cards when I've pulled them and collected them in the past. They're a really cool concept when executed properly, especially when you get the unique foiling on them like the Parallels have, such as the Casper All Access Credentials. These cards looks really nice. Like it's a really cool looking card, really unique concept. And yeah, I think there's a lot that they can do with this to, you know, make them even cooler. Unfortunately, though, this product just kind of fell a little bit flat for me. I'm sure you probably noticed it when I was kind of going through the boxes. My tone kind of shifted a little bit, just because the quality of it wasn't super great, and the value of it wasn't super great, and the experience also, you know, wasn't great because of those other two things. This is actually the second time I'm recording this part of the review, as I just wanted to watch a few other people open up boxes to make sure the issues that I saw weren't just an isolated incident. But from what I see, my experience has kind of been somewhat similar to others, especially in regard to overall card quality. This is the first time I've ever sorted a break into kind of what I deem as good card quality and bad card quality. Over here, we have the three cards that I think are perfectly fine. No real major issues. They're completely packed fresh, probably like, you know, if you were to grade them 9 or 10. This pile, we have the, you know, the probably an 8, like kind of, these ones are especially are kind of like, I expect die cuts that are printed on, you know, dark colored stock that are going to have a little bit more edge whitening and edge surface issues, and just general wear, because again, it is a lot harder to cut them. There's a lot more parts to get, you know, kind of dinged up when they're in the pack and the sorting process, stuff like that. So I get that. The Bouchard, same thing, just kind of has, again, on the darker colored stock areas, you notice it a little bit more. And then the net assets just has a couple of soft corners and some not great edges. But again, like totally fine die cut cards. I get it. They're not going to be pristine. And then same thing kind of with like thick foiled cards. I get it. They're not going to be like the most pristine. Like these ones are kind of fine. You got a little bit of like edge wear on the bottom of the Benson here. And just like all of these are kind of just like little bit of edge wear, not a ton. Like you kind of have to look for it from afar. It's kind of okay. I mean, the Shesterkin's a little bit more noticeable. Same with the Skinner. But like for the most part, these are fine. No real major issues there. Same thing with the Casper. Although I actually think the Casper ironically belongs in kind of this row. Just because I think the corners are a little bit softer, especially when you look at them closer up. But one thing that I just wanted to illustrate here in particular is the fact that like what color the card is printed on matters a lot for determining what its condition looks like from the pack, because you're going to notice a lot less blemishes and stuff on stuff that's printed on a light colored cardstock, specifically colors that are closely related to white, because that's what the underlying cardstock is. And so it doesn't, you know, like if you have a little bit of an edge chip, it won't show through as much. So, the Casper again is like mostly fine, but there's some chipping here and there. Like again, usual kind of like it is what it is. They're thicker cards, and I kind of expect like, you know, just a little bit of edge wear. Like it's really tough to keep those, especially again in a mass printed product. You kind of expect some of those issues to pop up from time to time. Where I think this product kind of really disappointed me is in this kind of area, because there's a lot of cards here. I think it's about like, if I'm I think it's like 31-ish of the cards or something like that. I put in the like very noticeable edge wear foil chipping too. I'd straight up consider these like damaged with thin corners for some of them. So like, they're not the worst thing in the world, but again, given the price point of the product, it's a little bit frustrating and you just got some edge chipping and stuff. And it's just pretty consistent across the videos that I've seen that you see kind of little foil chips everywhere. Again, the bottoms in particular, like this bottom edge here, about here and here, are pretty rough. The corners can also be pretty rough. So we'll save the Kachuk and Michelli for later because that's another thought. But like this Kateria is a good example here. You got just the lifts up on the bottom. Same with the Darlene, same with the Wilson. They're all kind of in a similar vein. And same with our two hits from the box. The Malkin one is definitely worse than the Shifley because you got, just the white edges and stuff. And it takes away from the card, especially when it's in a product that's at a premium price point that this one is. And same with the Shifley. It's not as bad as a Malkin, but it's got, your little edge chips down there and stuff like that. And given that these are our two of our three main hits from the product, it's a little bit frustrating. Moving on to kind of the other rookies here, so like the Samus like these are the ones that I'd consider a little bit more seriously damaged, like the Samus, the Tristan Robbins, the Riker Evans, the Matthew Nyes is in particular pretty bad. And actually, the Flurry one's not it's got a bad one there, but this one actually got crimped, which is kind of cool. If it's in a different product, that's actually kind of like worth more, like TCG stuff, but in hockey cards, not really in sport cards. And then this Sean Farrell, I actually didn't notice it at first, but it's got a really bad lip down here at the bottom. And when you get those foil chips at the bottom, one thing that tends to happen, as I go to the Faber here, is when you sleeve and top load it, you tend to get the foil that lifts up on it, and it creates like an even worse effect where it kind of damages the cards more, and it's nearly impossible to avoid that. The Faber also has like a little bit of a quality issue up there. I think I pointed out during the break that it looked a little bit off. But yeah, the other main issue with these guys, again, we'll save the Kachuk to the side for after. Same with the other Michelli. You got a lot of just the edge wear. You got a lot of these had just bottom left corner dings, which is a little bit frustrating. Again, just corner dings. The McDavid one's got a pretty bad one down there. Stuff that, like, again, if you were to have one or two of these in 48 cards of this thickness in a box, it'd be like, okay, whatever. The fact that it's like almost half of the product or half of the box is a little bit frustrating. Same with the Jack Hughes. It's got a lot. The Jack Hughes had a lot of wear. The Cider's not as bad, but the corners in particular are pretty rough on this guy. The Draisaitl, same thing. Corners are a little bit rough, and the Swayman's the Allmark has a little bit of a rough edge, a little bit of a rough corner. But yeah, so like the condition of the cards wasn't great, and it's kind of was disappointing throughout the whole time. Again, especially considering the price point, expected it to be a little bit higher. The other main thing that actually like really frustrated me from an experience open standpoint is getting two of these same base cards. I get that it is a 100 card set, so like there's not a ton. I guess you can really only get one of 4 crops because you get 24 base cards per box. You can typically only get one of 4 crops, so like it's a little bit tougher to keep them separate, but it's still a little bit frustrating. And again, just getting 2 of them is it's that little bit like extra. I wish that there was a way that they could avoid that, especially with it being 2 card packs. But yeah, it's the first time I've ever sorted cards by quality for a recap, and it's kind of a little bit frustrating. So I really want to see this product succeed though, and I think in the future something that like for Upper Deck to consider would be reducing the print run of the product. I think would help a lot because you're making less cards. It potentially would put less strain overall on the quality and having to get as many out. It also bring up the overall value from a box better because frankly, from a per box standpoint, like you can spend the same amount on this box as you can on a box of 2022-23 Premier. And between those, I would take the Premier box every day of the week because sure, you get less cards, but you get a premium on card autograph with a patch in it, which is something that like you can't go out and get unless you have access to the athlete. You get normally another on card auto and normally like another memorabilia card or two, one of them being premium sometimes, and a couple of base cards that look pretty nice as well for the same price. Sure, you get less overall cards, but the wow factor of those cards is a little bit higher. And I think that's just one thing that this product is missing is the wow factor. Like, I know the base is supposed to be that, but it'd be nice to get more parallels in it. And I don't want more parallels with the same print run. I want more parallels within a box and like just a lower print run because it just makes that set a little bit more premium. Whether it's shrinking the pack and box size down to something like stature or like an 8 card pack per box where you get 5 base cards, 2 parallels, and 1 insert type of thing. um yeah, it's just I don't know, something about this product just didn't work. I like the concept of it. I like the design. Again, I think there's a lot of cool stuff that they could do with this in the future. Like you could turn these into Panini did the Crown Royale silhouettes, which is one of my favorite sets of all time, where you have like the die cut and then in the background you have a patch of the player. I think that'd be just a really cool, unique way to add to this product a little bit. It's also a product that I don't expect them to release yearly. It's something that, like, every 5 years or so would be kind of cool to bring in as kind of a change up, refresh things a little bit type of thing. But yeah, that's kind of just my general thoughts here. Hopefully you enjoyed the break. And yeah, hopefully things improve. And hopefully, I mean, honestly, I hope this was just a one off and like some of the other boxes that I saw were just a one off. But yeah, from what I've seen, it kind of seems consistent, unfortunately. So, where I can say this product will probably shine better than pretty much anything else that's come out recently is on a just buying a single pack in a store for like however much it'll cost. It'll be a much more enjoyable opening experience than buying the full box, just because you do get 2 premium cards per pack. You get like, these cards are cool. They're very cool. I don't want to diminish that. They look really cool. They're very retro, and if you like them, you're gonna love them. If you hate them, you're probably gonna hate them, and that's okay. But you're gonna get at least one of these, and then either a cool insert or another one. So like, you're gonna get 2 premium cards for your money. It's just like over a full box, it feels really rough opening up a full box of this. So it's a really weird product. It's in a really weird spot. I think that they could improve it over time. And yeah, so those are my overall general thoughts on the product. If you are still interested in picking up a box, I will leave a link in the description below. Again, if you enjoyed the video or have any feedback or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment. Yeah, it's a product that I was really excited for. And after opening it up, I'm definitely not as excited about it. So always a little bit frustrating when that happens. But hey, at least we got to see some cool, unique cards that we haven't seen in a while. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.